Apparently I'm live. Oh, how's this? How's this? How is this? Oh yeah, it's great. Let's filter things. Filtering the chat, filtering my hair. My hair's been recently washed. It's kind of flatter. It's a little flatter. This is flat as it's, reaching God on the side. All right, let's swivel in the chair. I hope I don't swivel too much. I love doing this like I'm five. I'm five, plus a lot of decades. But yeah, because we can't be under 18 here. Aha! I have news for you, friends. Hi. Let's take this off. I don't need this for my hair. Or that either. Back. Satan. Namaste. That light in me sees the light in you. Hi. Welcome to the Sacred Spheres. It's Anastasia. We are now officially live. The chat is all, yep, it's all good. Why does it say that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why it says that. Let me know if my orientation is correct. I should be up and down, not sideways. Something's weird. That's okay. I'm sure it's fine. I'm excited to chat with you guys today. I know some folks are not getting notifications for some reason. That's bizarre. So hopefully you know that I'm live. It is 7 p.m. Pacific, technically 7:04 p.m., which adds up to 2. I'm live, says Andy. Yay, hooray. Hi, Andy. Do I look correct? I'm not sideways, right? I'm up and down. I'm vertical. Vertical. I hope so. She's vertical, folks. Welcome. Happy Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Friday. Have your fries. Have a yay. Friday. TGIF. Thanks for the like. I'm fine. I'm so fine. I blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. I'm so fine. I'm so fine. Hi, TWC. You know, there's like tender loving care. There's tender with a little extra care. Mr. Myers, Ms. Myers, they, them, Myers. TM is in the house, trademarked. We have more people have joined us. Welcome to Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Devichka. Did you know that that's how that's pronounced? My family's Russian. I even know that's how it's pronounced. I thought it was Devochka. No, you're a man. Hello. There's someone whose name I absolutely can't pronounce because it is in an Asian script. Hello. Hello, Jim. Nice to meet you, man. TWC. Nice to see you again, Jim, who sings beautifully. Same with Andy, who also sings beautifully. You're two ducks in a raincoat. I'm the Votchka. TWC he is saying that he is not handicapped, 21, a Taurus with OCD, a Nirvana shirt on from Amazon, ADHD, autism, and he likes it. And that is the most amazing intro I have seen on this channel in a long time. Thank you for that. And welcome, Sydney. And fun fact, TWC, I'm a Scorpio. I'm not handicapped, but I have been on disability before. Some would say that I am neurodivergent in terms of ADHD, but I did have a formal diagnosis of OCD. And it was quite severe. I had to go through an intensive outpatient treatment program twice. I had to be inpatient. It was a riot. Call the riot police. And all the people just came, just left. Actually, no, our viewership it surges. Ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. Well, anyway, folks, welcome to our happy hour. Welcome to Freaky Friday. We're probably going to, I'm really having a hard time saying that. We are probably going to chat a wee bit about that radically awesome and scary and sometimes foreboding topic. It's not that foreboding, of manifestation, because some shit has happened. Bleep, bleep. Some things have gone down in my life, some exciting things. We've been doing these, I don't know, this breath work. We've been opening up. We've been in community. We've been flowing. We've been welcoming all the noobs. We got lots of noobs in the house. Thanks to the noobs who've been showing up, like the Steves and the Pufferfish, although I think he already is no longer subscribing to my channel. to everyone who gives it a chance, I love you. Love is the answer. What's the question? I don't know. Loves the answer. Welcome. Very happy to have you. This is happy hour for community. And there's normally a subject that is chosen from the hat of my twisted brain. And we pull it out. And sometimes that's what I title this, little community sesh. And then we start going down the rabbit hole. We see where it leads. We see what people are chatting about in the chat, like La Boo Boo. Thank you for the hearts. La Boo Boo, La Boo Boo. Where did my La Boo Boo go? She was a noobs and she disappeared. Dr. Eggman is here from Clips. Not Clits, but Clips with the wig, with his eggs. We're very happy to have you. I talked a lot about eggs. Look at our viewership just surging. If anyone wants to know why eggs have high biological value and are one of the world's perfect foods, not goose eggs. We didn't lay the golden egg, actually from chickens. I used to work with the stars of Hollywood, and I helped them with their nutrition. We talked about models. I worked with a print model. Hell yeah. Wendy, Carolyn. Mwah. Merci mille fois for the subscription. I'm very happy to see you guys here. I know there are people from West Virginia, born and raised, who are showing up, hiding out in the chat or hiding in plain sight, meaning you're not in the chat at all. We're very happy to have you, and that's okay. We are here at a happy hour. This is a happy hour because even if you're not happy, even if I'm not happy, somewhere, someone in the world is happy, even if it's not you or me. We B-I-O-E-I-E-I-O. We bring our own beverage of choice. I love that. I just messed up one word and we lost like 10 people. They're like, peace, deuces. I mess up words all the time. It's important to play. It's important to be silly. It's important to let yourself make mistakes. As a person who had at one point, like TWC pointed out, because I brought it up about myself, someone who's had very severe OCD and hyper like perfectionism to the nth degree, is important that I fool the fuck around and I play. I'm silly. I mess up words. I sing songs. I don't even know what direction I'm going in, who's saying it, what the words are, but we do it. We do it because, as you probably remember, come with me and you'll be in a world of absolute delusion. Grab a book and it will show you the reading rainbow. This is Rainbow, right? We know those songs don't go together, but I make them go together. And I love this fuzzy, wuzzy, very textured, it makes me very happy notebook. So yeah, we bring our own beverage. You can have water, you can drink the air, you can be in the dark matter. I don't know what mudra that is. There we go. It's the Guillermo del Toro. I can't quite do that with my glasses. Oh yeah, I'm wearing glasses. That's just the vibe. That's what we're doing today. The Guillermo del Toro vision. We are, yeah, you can imbibe whatever you want. Today, for me, it is a touch of red, I must admit. In Grandma's chalice, the coupe. Y'all know what the coupe's about. But this is apparently a Cabernet Sauvignon. Cheers. Drink a Pepsi. Drink, something from this lady. Oh, look who showed up. Look who showed up, folks. This is Galaxy. I am Queen. Yes, she has her own Instagram. And she's in a mood today because it's hot. By the way, welcome to August. Happy August 1st. Galaxy loves you. She's a gorgeous lady with beautiful yellow eyes. She is missing that paw. She is a pirate queen with a nub. She has like a little wooden leg. Not really. It is a bone though. It's weird how they fixed it. Okay, baby. I love you. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. We got tangled up in my headphones. Yep, we did. I'm sorry, baby. Come on. Oh, it's your tail. Let go, baby. Here. Wow. Okay, it's like wrangling a complete wild animal. All right. Actually, fun fact, cats are wild animals. In a court of law, they are not considered property like a dog is. A dog is trainable. Cat kind of is. Cats know, so they are aloof and assholes. No, they are a bit aloof. They're not assholes. We love them very much, but they definitely want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. But the fun fact is they know far more than we understand in terms of human vocabulary. They are multilingual. I speak to my cat in French and English, and occasionally Russian. I know far more French than Russian. Oops, like Devechka. Sounds like babushka. My babushka liked to be called babunya. So babushka is, of course, old lady. No, grandmother. And then babunya is a grandma. Anyone have special things they call their grandma? Sydney here is saying that she went to Missouri and is sending Jim some love. Oh, did you see? Yeah, did you see my book cover? Oh, TWC's had 3 coffees already. That, yeah, at this point, we normally don't have coffee being drunk, but occasionally, I know Sydney once got off work and was having some coffee. Yeah, this is happy hour, but espresso martini? No, drink whatever you want. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to the lovely lady who subscribed. That was a sweetie pie. Hopefully not 12 years old, because sometimes what we say is not appropriate for the ears of a 12-year-old, we've found out. I do not put that this is child safe. I put no, no, 18 plus. But yeah, no, that was still, I'm so intrigued by the night the 12-year-old man, guy, named Mr. Puffer to up. I still wonder if he was actually 12 and was a narc trying to find out what we were doing here. Well, like I said, we've been talking about manifesting. Remember, like we've been doing this breath work. We've been breathing. We've been here, present, listening, thinking about maybe things that we could, like another time we talked, not give a fuck about. Because sometimes we get older and we're like, God damn it, oh man. But really, what happens is you get this big, big pocket that keeps expanding and expanding of no fucks given. And then we even, the last time we met up, we talked deeply from our last hump day boudoir shoot, where the ladies came out to play. From that time together, we even went even deeper, like when something hasn't been happening in our life, whether it's maybe having someone come into our life, attracting a partner, up and someone to hold our hand, kiss us on the lips, whatever the case may be. Sometimes we got to go a little bit deeper and also wonder, because if we are, as we think, therefore we are, if we are creating any part of this reality, then we are creating that as a reality. Like, for example, myself not having dated at one point for 10 and a half years as a grown ASS lady. Why? Well, many reasons. There were a lot of reasons, but there was one that was very hard to admit. That deep in the valley of my soul, I did not actually want to date someone. I knew I wasn't ready. I knew it would be too much for me. And guess what? It was, because 10 and a half years later, I did date someone, and it almost, it brought me to my knees, folks. It did. Now, I keep holding this because there was, one of the things I've been kind of fed up with, and I've been excited to kind of integrate, navigate, move on from, is certain patterns of not showing up in the world as who I am in terms of like what I do as an artist. Whether that's a painter, a writer, a singer, a musician, a merry music maker, a fill in blank, comedian, oh spaghettios, and just finally being willing just to do it and to keep doing it and to know that I'm allowed to be successful with this. I'm allowed to make money doing this. I'm allowed to enjoy my life. It's allowed to be easeful. Here's a fun fact. Mark Manson, in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, talks often about how there is always a 200-pound heaping pyramid pile of not dongs, unfortunately. Those of us who like dongs. No, of a heaping pile of doo-doo, of poop, of shit, waiting for us around every corner in life. There's always pain. There's always, like the Buddhists say, there's always some level of suffering. However, how can we accept that, know that's there, choose to lessen it, and even to understand how to see that it's, even though in theory it's there, there's an end to it. The end to it is, as often Buddhists will say, is in terms of our perception of it and our complete obsession. No, the opposite of that. Acceptance and distance from it, where we observe it. We are not personalizing it. We don't let the heap of shit with the flies grip us. It actually reminds me of a story of, since we brought up OCD, the period of my life where I was technically indigent and disabled, and my mommy and daddy were taking care of me, again, as a grown ASS lady, when I wasn't dating, largely, well, really, at all, at all, in my 30s. Oh, fun fact. Oh, no, yeah, I'm over age 30, though I don't look a day over 25, no. But in that period of my life, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be living with parents in my 30s. It was fucking brutal. Now, yes, there are a lot of other extenuating circumstances. My brother had died tragically young. We were all navigating that. It was really traumatic what happened. This is not the time to talk about that story. There would be all sorts of trigger warnings for that. But yeah, we were, as a family, but as myself as well, I was recovering through a lot from a lot. But I felt like being in that household was not the place to do it, but it was where I had to, because I had nowhere else to live. I couldn't. My insurance only covered so much inpatient. I had to be somewhere, and I had to have folks basically put shelter, a roof over my head. But it felt demeaning. It felt demoralizing. It felt like I should. That you're in the wrong terrain. We start shoulding, it's like shitting yourself to death. Don't should yourself to death. So I had to really accept. It was very hard because, I looked like I do now. I looked capable. I communicated for the most part how I do now. So people were very dumbfounded by this, mostly myself. But it's where I was at in life. And I had to accept what the so-called disabilities, the things that were in my life. But here's the thing where I said not letting it grip you, air quotes. Not fully identifying with it. It's something in my body. It's something here. And more so, I have to be in this house. I'm in this house. I was always like, I would do things where I would buy things like for my future self, like, ooh, I bought this fun candle for when I move out of this fucking godforsaken situation and live somewhere else on my own. And I'm finally an adult and I've made it in life where I'm just out. I'm just taking care of myself on my own, finally. I've gotten through this period. I don't have to be in this household, which was very hard for me to be in. Not just because of my age and because it was my parents' house and because my brother died there and then later my dad. No. I didn't want to set up shop, we'll just say there. And so anytime I would dare to be kind to myself and by myself, because I was so ashamed, I would often whip myself and shame myself and guilt myself for where I was in life. Well, what was very interesting? This is called the Groundhog Day effect, not in the way you might think. I worked with this woman because I was so frustrated with what was happening. More so, I worked with her because I had an issue with my brother who had died in that house, and I felt very upset about it and being close to the bedroom where it happened and that kind of a thing. So I wanted to work on that with this woman. And we also talked about, my living situation and how frustrating it was, but it seemed there was no way out of it. So it was very interesting what happened. She said, the movie Groundhog Day, it's quite brilliant, but not for the reason I realized. She said, so think of the storyline in this way. Here's this man, he's a bit of a pretentious twat, right? He's arrogant. He thinks he knows everything. He just shows up in this town, like some podunk town, Punxsutawney, wherever, New Jersey, New York, somewhere, East Coast, on Groundhog Day, right? And he's some type of New York City TV bigwig. He's really just a son of a bitch. And he sees some girls oh yeah, I could have her. I want her. And Sandy McDowell, right? She's like, man, get the hell away from me, you creep. He goes to sleep that night, right? He wakes up, he realizes he's back he just went to the day before, and he keeps reliving Groundhog Day over and over again. And what does he try to do to get out of it? Because he's like, this is a living hell. I'm in a living hell. What do I do? It gets to the point where he's trying to annihilate himself. He literally trigger warning, suicide watch. Yeah, he was trying to kill himself. And this is the movie Groundhog Day. It was really rough. It was really hard what he was trying to do. He was trying at all costs to get out of it, and he couldn't get out of it no matter what he did. But the one thing he wasn't trying to do was accept it, love it, appreciate it, enjoy it, get curious about it, pay attention to it, not let what he couldn't accept, that he stuck there, grip him. He had to just observe it. He had to pull back. He had to apply these sort of, spiritual principles, Buddhist principles, if you will. They're not just Buddhist. They're very much kind of like generic, really. Not be like, this is who I am and my identity. Because if you do that, then that's who you are, period. There's no differentiation. So he had to step back. This is, of course, the character played by Bill Murray. And he's witnessing the whole situation and getting invested in the potential of it, the joy of it, because he does know it so well. He knows when a kid's falling out of a tree, he can save him. He knows where the lady is to take piano lessons, and he gets better and better and better. Now, he is doing a lot of these things to impress that same girl that he wants, the Annie MacDowell character. But the one thing that starts to happen is he gets so caught up in the joy of just existing in a world that at one point he hated because he couldn't accept that he was stuck here. Once he did accept that, stopped fucking worrying about it and just started enjoying it, guess what happened? A day comes where he's learned so much about this world. He loves it so much. He can play the piano so well. He's having a good old time. And he wakes up and it's the next day. And instead of wanting to get the living hell out of the town, he now loves it so much. He literally never wants to leave, wants to marry the Andie MacDowell character and live happily ever after, so to speak. So now you might be saying, I am getting very warm. I feel like a preacher or something in the South. It is very warm here right now. It is August after all. Welcome to LA, Hollywood in August. You might say, dear Anastasia, what in the flying fuck are you talking about right now? I'm talking about when I was living there in that horrific situation. It was not good, but it was also extraordinary. I was being taken care of by my family, and it was very challenging in a lot of ways that I cannot share here. But it was my reality, and I had to accept it, and I had to risk just taking a step back and finding a way to get curious about it, interested in it, and find a way to create sanctuary there, a good there, no matter what. I had a very small room. That's all I got. Well, it was like, how can I make that something I love and enjoy, something I can come home to, literally come home to every day. And so, oopsie, sorry. Hold on. I don't know what the heck I just did. Okay. Sorry. Pressed a button. So I actually went, instead of buying like things once in a blue moon to save for some day in the future, I actually started to acquire things for that moment, for the then and there and the now, and just be there and find a way. I had a very contentious relationship with one of my parents, and I found a way to have a different schedule than that parent and get to know the other parent well. And I actually made it work. And it took a few years, but that broke the so-called spell. The more I invested in my space there, truly loved it, truly accepted that I could be stuck here forever. And if that's the case, instead of trying to make it even more miserable and literally bathe in the pile of shit that was that situation, why don't I actually find a way to clean up the shit? Or just look around it, see what else is there, and enjoy it. And I did. And one of the interesting things is that the parent that I could get along with and I did spend time with, it's like, well, okay, I don't want to have to live here with this parent anymore. I do want to move out at some point, but if I'm never going to live with my parents again, what a gift to have this opportunity. Because when would I ever have this opportunity again? The thing I didn't know was that I would take a lot of time with that parent, love on that parent, the one that I could really get along with well. When I did move out a few years later, that parent died. So that wasn't just my only time living alone or as an adult, not alone. It was, well, largely because the other parent, right, had opposite schedule of, but largely living with that parent as an adult. Because I'm like, I'm not going to live again with my parents as an adult again. I'm going to make sure of that. I'm going to change my life. But so in embracing what I did have, I stayed fully in the present. It was very hard to do that. I can't even express to you the trauma of living in that household and what it was. This is not the forum to air all that dirty laundry, but I'm saying this as an interesting experiment in how when you just accept and detach and observe and get curious and not identify with what it is and just, let's see how we can enjoy this. things shift, and they shift for what is for your highest. I have found good. Obviously, there are people in really, really abusive situations. You need to get the fuck out of there. So, I'm not talking about tolerating, people beating you up and things like that. But these are some of we've been going deep the last few weeks, which is exciting. And I wanted to report some things about going deep and sort of manifestation. And, we speak our reality into existence, and things happen, though, in the right timing. They happen in intended timing, right? As I've been just witnessing this art. Some of you know that I started painting for the first time. I've done a lot of art. I've sung since I was a wee thing. I've been, athlete, and I've done a lot of things. But painting came to me end of 2020, early 2021 through a dream tending, deep imagination program, post-Jungian work, and a woman in particular gave me this class, and it was kind of like my dam was starting to break open, the water was shooting out, and bam! I couldn't stop painting, and it's been now, so it's been about 4 solid years of nonstop painting, but also not that it was like the best thing ever, although some of the things I did at the very beginning were kind of mind-blowing, and I made prints of it, and people were like, wow, what is this, So that did happen, but for the most part, I just was so excited to just do something like that, to let something flow through me. I didn't know what I was doing, which was fun. I think the less you know, sometimes the more you celebrate, you're like, yay! It could look like a 5-year-old did it. I'm like, I don't care! It just brought me so much joy to be able to do something with all of the creativity I had literally dammed up. And I was just watching, I love Johnny Cakes. He was on Is This Cake, or is it Cake or Not, that program, a cake contest. He does hyper realistic cakes. And I just watched a short of his right before this. It's kind of about the concept of fake it till you make it. To be able to do things in life that we really, really want to, on the one hand, yeah, you do need maybe some type of talent, but really, it's more that you need an interest that's all consuming. Thank you for the likes, by the way. Thank you for the love. I see you guys. I love you. And what was really interesting, what he said and what I've experienced, he's like, okay, yeah, maybe you have to have some type of talent. But again, it's more so about an interest and a willingness. We talked about this before, a willingness just to be in process. Because it's not just, I have a goal of, I don't know, I want to make 100,000 a year, or I want I want one of my pieces in a gallery, or yeah, I want to be on TV doing cake decorating. You could have that, but the thing is, it's going to take so much work, and once you get that, then what? It's not just it's nice to have the little flags on the journey, the little little bells and whistles, but it's about the journey. You have to love the fuck out of what you're doing. You got to do it every day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. It has to become like your Groundhog Day, where if you're bloody miserable in it and you're only looking for the getting out of it to get whatever X amount of money or travel or some person on your side, a ring on your finger. No, that's nice. That's a cherry on top. But it's really about the cake. How are you? Pun intended, I guess, Johnny Cakes. And so, what are you doing to find ways to enjoy that and just to do that? And it needs to often be something you're completely obsessed with. And as Johnny said in the short on YouTube, he said, delusional. Like I said, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure absolute delusion. You have to, because you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to love it so much where it does not matter what anyone says or doesn't say about what you're doing, or honestly what success you do or do not have. It would, of course, be nice to have maybe some recognition, in part because in this culture, with some recognition comes financial support, and with financial support you can do what you love so much more often. You know what I mean? But it's so important to be something you would do whether or not you have to have a full-time job, or you solely can do whatever the fill in the blank thing is. But Johnny in this short threw an overview of the cakes that he would decorate when he was like a teenager up until now. He's, I think, mid-30s now. And he's been pretty much doing it not as much as he could. And he said, because people always ask, does he have 2 million, or I think at least 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And so people, ask him often, how did you succeed? He's like, it's called, again, faking it till you make it, just knowing that you want to do this and you just are delusional enough to believe that you can do it. and willing to put this out there. Austin Kleon, another creativity sort of expert kind of guy, he's a book that basically the premise, and I think the title of it is show, air quotes, show your work. Just show up. Just show up and fucking work and show other people that you're doing it. Unfortunately, I don't know why we keep quoting Woody Allen, but he has been attributed to the quote that life is, 98% just showing up. Just show up, do it, show the world that you've done it. You put it on the blog, you put it on SoundCloud, it's like your track. You put it on an Instagram account. Whatever, you show up, you do a short on YouTube or whatever you do. You just you show up and you do the thing, and you are unafraid to share it, and you just keep doing it. And then the other 2% is really just the luck, the weird X factors of like whether you kind of break through in some crazy massive way. But that cannot be the ultimate goal, though. I don't know. That's an interesting topic. I've thought a lot about. I've read a lot about. I've watched tons of videos on, movies on, you name it. Because as some of you know, I've worked in and adjacent to the Hollywood entertainment industry. I've met a lot of A-list people, and there are definitely some A-listers who, of course, I'd say like 98% of it, 98% of it is nepotism. They all know someone, whether it's a family member, friend, what have you, to get their foot in the door. But the bigger thing there are some who don't have that nepotism card, and they just fake it till they make it. They just keep showing up. They have enough delusional belief in themselves just to keep doing it, and they just, in part because they love it so much and they couldn't see themselves doing anything else. They're like, what's the B plan? I don't know. I mean, I can get another job, but like, I got to do this. But I have met some and read about and watched movies, videos, etc., about some where they actually are focused on the fact that they really do want to be famous, and they will work their absolute fucking ass off, and they have this kind of like there's some type of magnetism about them. They just show up and things just start happening, and they start meeting people, and they have to make it big. Actually, this is if you like Tarantino, he talks about this. He was here, moving to LA to do, he's a film nut. He still is, obsessed with movies. Wanted in the industry. He wanted to be a writer and possible director and make his movies. But he was a writer, that's like first and foremost. And he was living in, I think it was like the South Bay area. He's outside of like Hollywood proper, LA proper, where a lot of stuff is happening. People are filming more often, etc. And he's just like, I have to take this risk. He decided to move into, it's expensive as hell. He's probably sleeping on someone's couch, into someone's, apartment here in this area. But the moment he did that and he started to just show up on set, like meet people, like get jobs, like as a grunt at the bottom of the totem pole, whatever, just do anything. He's like, I want to take the risk to just get work doing what I love. I don't want to like make a lot. I have had to be the person who has to have like a full-time job that makes like a good amount of money. That wasn't just from doing industry, related stuff. He did get fairly lucky early on where he was able to just like work whatever he could, piecemeal stuff, to meet enough people. And he was insanely talented. So when they saw his writing, they're like, oh yeah. So he helped, ghostwrite, co-write, whatever. And then eventually, you guys know the story about his first movie and then Pulp Fiction, blah, blah, Star was born. But, we all have a different path. But at the end of the day, it's just accepting where you're at now, being willing to ask for what you want, knowing that you have to be in love with the process, not just the cherry on top little flag posts, being willing to fake it till you make it, being willing just to show up and make a complete ass of yourself, because it doesn't matter what people say or don't say, because you love the thing you do so fucking much that you will do it no matter what. And again, you have to be delusional to keep to do it, to keep doing it, and to show your work. Now, it doesn't mean that there's shame in not showing your work. You know what I mean? There are plenty of people who they love their craft work, their woodwork or whatever, and they don't necessarily want to monetize it. They don't want it to be their living. And that's absolutely fine. We can all do whatever in the heck. Am I pressing the right button? Yes, I am. Yeah, we can do whatever we are led to do. Because there's also, yeah, some people are like, I just want to have fun doing this. I don't want to have to monetize it. For me, however, yeah, there's no shame in that is what I'm saying. And different strokes for different folks. Everyone is in their own particular beautiful manifestation of self. You're exactly where you need to be. And for me, though, I have loved what I've been doing more recently for work. I was working in really high-end hospitality as a maitre d, sort of head host type person. I made people who were in a very beautiful space, Hollywood adjacent, in a fine dining type elevated atmosphere, feel, no matter who they were, A-list or not, feel like an absolute VIP, have an absolutely extraordinary experience. And I would do it through being stupid and silly and making jokes, basically doing stand-up. The stand-up that I was actually workshopping jokes with everyone, seeing what people lacked at, seeing what their demographic was. So actually I was still doing my sort of creative work, but really, I really would like more and more for that to be my full-time thing. So all of that to say, drum roll, please. I got a commission yesterday. That's why I kept holding this little guy up, this palette. This is a palette knife for those of you who don't paint. You can get the little, out of the container of paint and, mix your paints on your palette. My palette is kind of, I love janky janks. I like reusing, upcycling. I hate having to spend an arm or leg on things, although I don't mind it too sometimes. So I think I like the creativity in finding, this is an Amazon box taped together, finding things that work. And I've gotten really used to it that if I use an actual palette, which normally is circular with a little thumb kind of vibe going on, and wax paper, I don't know, I'm used to my aluminum over my ball. And I even use these, they become paintings as well. But yeah, palette, right? Smish, 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 smish. Okay. I've been holding this up because yes, I got a commission to do a large piece, 3 feet by 4 feet, for I don't want to say too much yet, but for somewhere in Los Angeles. And it's very, very exciting. So yay. Yay, Anastasia. I have a lot of work to do. But I will be posting about it here, there, and everywhere. So again, this goes back to, we were talking about manifesting, asking for what you want. What if I can get what I want and need? What if I'm being shown how to do that? What if I'm getting in my own way? What if also I don't know what I want or need? What if I'm asking for something that I actually deep down don't want, or vice versa? I'm asking, oh, I want this, but really I shouldn't get, not should, that's the wrong word. It's not good for me at this moment. Because we're talking about oh, I want a sweetie pie, sweetheart. And sometimes there's something in us that's deep, it's really deep down. We're actually too ashamed to actually want something. We don't really technically feel ready. Because let me tell you something about the person that I attracted to my life, who dumped me real hard a few months ago. Yeah, after 10 and a half years of not dating, and here's, I think I'm ready. I think I've done enough work on myself. I think I'm in a better place. I like that place of disability. And yeah, I think I'm better. I think I'm doing okay. No, there is still deep guilt and shame. This person treated me like human trash. That's hard to say. I'm surprised I'm not crying. He took me out the recycling almost every day. Not even, well, definitely the recycling, because he'd always kind of come back for more. Yeah, and yet I loved him very much, because it shows you how little I still actually loved myself and cared for myself. So, but guess what? When it's time for something to happen, it still happens. That relationship still happened, and it went off and on and off for 2.5 years. And, because I was ready to experience that and to see what happens when you don't truly believe you are worthy of a good relationship. You get smacked upside the head by the wrong one. But it was still the right one, because it still brought me to where I needed to be. It still helped me to learn. I needed to learn these things. And I also still adored this person so much. I loved him. I loved him more than words. I loved him actually unconditionally. But I think I loved him more than I loved me. it felt like I don't even love myself unconditionally. Because I endured so much, because I was so hungry for a relationship and for love, because I felt so damaged. And I'd been told I was damaged. You have all these disorders. You're literally on disability off and on, and this and that, and a rat and a cat and a bat and a 6'4" father. And yeah, and guess what? I'd internalized that. And that's, look at that boomerang moment. We went back full circle. That's where you can't identify with, this is who I am. It's okay to acknowledge that, yeah, I have struggled with blah, 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 blah. These are some limitations and boundaries I have. I have a lot I've learned, and I'm proud of like knowing what my limitations and boundaries are. But when you're just like, and that makes me fully identify with this like decrepit, degenerated, like disabled person, like, no. Some of the most disabled people I know are actually some of the most extraordinarily able-minded people. Because even though maybe some of their, or whether they're, or even if their mental health is, disabled, I think of folks, friends of mine with Down syndrome, Special Olympics, folks who are like, a friend who like, with a leg amputated, like, nope, I'm going to do this anyway, It doesn't mean we can't grieve the loss of like a limb, or the loss of like not being as able-bodied or able-minded as it were someone else. But yeah, we just have to accept where we're at in this exact moment, which is so hard. And sometimes we don't even know where the fuck we're at or what there even is to accept. So that goes back to the end of the day. You got to fake it till you make it. No, just choose joy as much as you can, because my fucking God, it's pretty hard out there for a pimp. So you want to choose joy as much as you can. Because there is, always remember, a 200-pound pile of shit waiting for you. So might as well choose things that bring you joy, because there's going to be pain that comes anyway. And also, there's, as Stevie Wonder said, there's joy inside my tears. Yeah. So, well, we've been on a little roll there. Preacher Pavlov's going to step down from the podium. Very happy to share my Freaky Friday. This is our freaky kind of spiritual woo-woo. It's not too woo-woo today. We do talk about ghosts and psychic stuff. This is not that moment. But also, I'm happy to answer questions about that. Every day it's kind of a little different. Sometimes I go on a little woo off-roading. Sometimes it's all about hanging out in the chat. Sometimes it's a mix of things. Today it's a little bit of a mix, a little more preacherly moment, because I just, like I said, there are these beautiful things I saw, and that were coming to mind, and in terms of also things we talked about, manifesting, getting curious, seeing what's possible, asking for it, seeing what's maybe beneath, why it's not on the horizon being gifted to us on a silver platter. All right, well, that's enough of that. I feel like I went Pentecostal. Damn, the chat has been explosive, and I have literally not been paying one little lick of attention to it. I am so sorry. All right, let's go back. Yeah, so this is that wonderful time where you can grab your own beverage, BYOB. I'm going to do my little Sauvignon, Cabernet. I'm going to do the cabaret. Welkom en bienvenue, welcome. Au cabaret, au cabaret, au cabaret. Bienvenue. I love Alan Cumming in that role. My God. All right. You missed Joyce and Chuck. Yeah, Chuck is doing something very fun tonight. He is seeing another play. That little bastard. Oh, he is really worn out and does not want to sleep yet. That was me yesterday, and I had to get to sleep. I had an appointment stay, and yeah, damn. Jim has been in a bad way lately, and he says no fault but his own. It doesn't mean that you're not entitled to our compassion, Jim. You guys are probably like, whoa, Anastasia, she's way back in the chat. Andy asking Jim how his mom's doing. She's doing great. Please tell her I said hi. I hope your mom is doing well, Jim. Please tell her I said hi. Give her a big hug from Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood, where we give lots and lots and lots of hugs, not just drugs. Deep in the... Oh! Deep in the Valley. For some reason I just thought of that song. I was born in the river. That's so like gospely fun. There's so many people who sing that well. There's that guy who plays violin and then starts singing it. That Asian guy. Have you seen that? It went viral. That video. How does that song go? I was born by the river to a little child or something. I don't know. Something like that. That just woke you up, Sydney. All right. And he's talking about using something when you used to play with silly putty. Sydney was scared of the Jolly Green Giant and still is. Jim retracted a message. Nothing. Oh, Steven's back. I was talking about you earlier, Steven. How you were one of our noobs and you've been coming by. I was on a roll, I don't know, and a rant. I don't know if you're still here. Sydney, ooh, wow. Lots of sordid things in the chat. Things have to be retracted. We're getting too hot under the collar there. Jim retracted. Sydney retracted. We're asking about 7 cats. Oh, Stephen missed Hump Day. Oh, good. Yeah, you watched the video. Yeah, the ladies. It is my last Hump Day for a while. Sorry, folks. So then you saw how we went deep. We went deep in the valley a little bit there with Jim, a question he brought up. Jim retracted 2 more messages. I love that. But yeah, just because Hump Day is on the it's on the cutting room floor, it doesn't mean that we won't have our manic. Just another manic Mondays. We're gonna do that. Some type of Taco Tuesday vibe. We'll figure out a theme song for that. And then Fridays, and maybe something in between, because scheduling is shifted. Keep in mind, I have a painting now to make. Thank you. Hugs and kisses to me and clappy hands. Andy's missing his cat. Sydney is giving lots of lovey love signs and hearts and things. Funny, Stephen. Yes, if I get warm, I can shed some clothing. Yes, that is. I always wear a hoodie. Well, so the old me, speaking of shame, it didn't matter if I weighed 100 pounds or 200 pounds. I would not show my body at all. When I wore a bathing suit, I would wear, shorts down to my, below my knees and maybe a tank top or t-shirt. I couldn't even handle showing my arms. So it's a little still wearing this and like hoodie and 85 to 90 degree weather. It's still a bit of a throwback to back when. There's severe body dysmorphia. Yes, a subset of OCD, boys and girls. It still runs rampant in my body, and that's okay. Hey, honey, Papa's home. All right, Stephen. It is about the journey, not the destination. However, Sydney, David Sedaris, me talk pretty one day. He's so good. He's so funny. He is a funny guy. Largely writes these sort of anecdotal stories, similar to what I do. Personal essays that are funny. And except I've been speaking my essays. So something he did. So he was in an interview with Terry Gross, because he has made it very big. New York Times bestseller, the whole 9. And he said, yeah, it's not about the destination, about the journey. However, he's like, things he wrote down once, he's like, I want to be in an interview with Terry Gross, like literally like decades ago, before anyone knew his name. He wrote down, I want to be able to travel and stay in really nice, like 4 or 5 star hotels, everything paid for, no problem in the world without that. I want to be married to one person, long time, super easeful. Like he just literally wrote down what he wanted, including like the super, like I literally want $2 million in the bank. Jim Carrey did this. What was it? He wanted a check for, I can't remember the dollar amount. Was it 21 million? Some insane amount of money. Guess what happened with both David Sedaris and Jim? They literally received it. They were delusional enough to believe that could happen and were willing to just write it down and to live in a way where like that was so, and they did it. Not in a fake like, I got a vision board and it's so, it is so. They were just like open. It's a thing. It's a vibration. It's hard to even explain, because there's so many people who do, manifestation and like get what you want and say certain things. It's, in my own experience, it's this weird little complex thing, but it comes down to just like, fuck it. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And you just live and walk life like that's what it is. And you look down and there's money on the ground. I don't know how to describe it. There's someone named, Madam Black Wolf. Thank you by the, hello, beautiful. Black Wolf. I love it. Let's howl at the moon together. Luna. Wolves unite. Women who run with the wolves. Anyone all about that life? It's a really important book for those of us in depth psychology and Wicca and women stuff. The sacred feminine. I'm so happy that Madam Black Wolf is here, and I'm grateful for to my friends here in the chat who've welcomed people when I get on my tangents. I can't tell you how big that the Groundhog Day effect, so to speak, is, and not again in the way that you think. It's pretty much the best parable and thing to apply to my life as possible. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. I'm very happy you showed up. Yeah, Stephen, if you're still here, yeah, I'm very sad. Sorry. I didn't see your messages until now. I'm taking my time through the chat. I want to wish you guys again, happy August, happy TGIF, it's Friday. Happy happy hour. It's a happy hour. Quentin Tarantino made his first on-screen appearance in an episode of Golden Girls. No way. Now that is a very fun fact. I did not even know that. And Quentin gave me posters from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I worked with him, albeit while he was very drunk. So he probably couldn't mention that to me. Yeah. Anyway, that is so freaking cool. I did not know that. I know a lot of factoids about the kid, but not that one. And everyone's a kid. You could be 5 or 12 like pufferfish up until 105 or more. Death. You're still a kid to me. Stephen has missed me or Sydney or Madam Black Wolf. It sucks. It sucks suffering from, yeah, doesn't it though? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Madam Black Wolf. Yeah, there's definitely there's like a specific thread that wanted to come through in that little, whatever that lecture that I gave. I don't know, the sermon. It was my sermon on the Mount for today. It's taken me a long time to understand that, oh shit, I actually, this body struggles with extreme depression. And there have been diagnoses, yes, of things like OCD and body dysmorphia and blah, blah, blah. There's like a little laundry list of things. And one of the things I've had to learn is how in the hell do I mitigate that? How do I lessen that as much as I can? Like, again, the Buddhists say, I'm not a Buddhist, I'm kind of a spaghetti on the wall type person. Just if it's truth, right? If it resonates. But sometimes things won't resonate tomorrow. I stay in the now. That's who I am, a practitioner. But like the Buddhists say, right? There is suffering. Like, there is depression in this body. And it is often terrifyingly, paralyzingly severe. And like, I can't get my head above water, and it's scary as fuck. So I think this is fun to talk about this. I don't get to talk about this as often as I'd like, because I feel it's very helpful and we can learn from each other. So I have had to, be okay with accepting that and allowing myself when I start, it's very hard to do this though, when you start to, I can only speak for myself, you speak in I terms, when I start to see this, like see something in me falling off the wayside. Sometimes I don't even realize it's happened until I'm in a very dark place. Chuck. So as you guys know, Chuck Dransfield, at Chuck Dransfield, he is a Hollywood expert, an old Hollywood expert, I should say. An old Hollywood historian, for I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball, Dizzy Arnaz, that whole family, Carol Burnett, a lot of other shows, definitely in particular, I Love Lucy. He's also an amazing portrait artist. His work is in James Dean hometown, Lucille Ball's hometown. He's an actor, SAG, blah. Very talented guy on Whimsy's show, Oracle of Whimsy. So you can catch him now on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I would probably not be alive if it weren't for Chuck. So sometimes I don't even realize I'm slipping down one of those spirals. And I will record a voice memo for him or call because it's urgent and I'm in a really dark place. Reminds me, because this is something I've had to learn for myself. We all have non-negotiables. So for me, it's complex. A lot of it's because an athlete for so long on specialized diets, and then I really starved myself, and I starved my brain. I damaged my brain. There was a breakdown. I'd be on meds. I have permanent brain damage, basically. Yay! I have learned that I'm excessively sensitive to not eating enough proteins and fats in particular. I need to be on an almost exaggerated high protein, high fat diet. I can't like ignore carbohydrates, obviously complex carbs or fibers, and keep things regular and moving. But I'll never forget. It was only I think a week ago or so. I left a voice memo for Chuck, and he and I, we're basically brother and sister. So he recorded a voice memo immediately, and he said, because sometimes he doesn't have the time, I have the time to talk at length, or for me to go see him. And he was like, I've known you long enough, and I've seen you in these extremely scary, dark places. He's like, please, I know this could make you upset if this isn't the case, and you're just having a bad moment. How much have you eaten in the last few days? Just think about that and get back to me. And sure enough, I thought about, because I have to literally I sometimes have to journal what I eat to know. And I looked at what I've been eating, and it's like, yep, I actually hadn't been consuming enough fat. I was doing a good amount of protein. Like I had to extra like deli slices and just chicken or something, but it wasn't really, there wasn't much fat, and also I was kind of ignoring carbs altogether, and because I'm like, I don't want to gain weight, It's like, dude, meaning to me, dudette, eat a fucking burger. Like, shut the fuck up, eat the bun, have some fries. Yeah, and once I eat something, it takes about 24 hours. Then it's like, oh, almost like an exaggerated version of being hangry, except for me, it triggers extreme depression. But yeah, I have a list of things. And one of my first videos, I was hoping people to engage with me more and, think about what their non-negotiables are. Like for me, I know this, again, lots of TW, lots of trigger warnings today. I get to very dark places, and it makes no sense. I can't worry about the fact that it makes no sense. But the reality is, it's like, if I even sleep 30 minutes to an hour less than what I need. For me, I need 9, even 10 hours. If I just eat a fraction less of proteins and fats, like I feel like my mental health is like on a fine, like razor. It's like on this palette knife edge. But I have gotten stronger. That's the good news, is that there are days, like I slept much less last night. I'm doing okay. I have to be mindful though to get my ass to bed early and to be able to be rested for tomorrow. But yeah, for me, it's sleeping, like eating number 1 and sleeping number 2. But if I'm not at all getting out in the sun, I started realizing that I would go from inside my house, which is pretty dark. It's an old house. There's not really the best lighting. I mean, it's cozy, it's cute, it's like a little cabin in the woods. But if I go from here to work, which I used to do, and I used to work in a crypt, like an old Hollywood, oldest haunt, old establishment, it felt like you were in a crypt from the 1920s, just like my house. And there are even floors that are underground. So, I mean, it was very dark in there. So I'd go from here to there, back and forth, and realize why I'm like, I am feeling I'm eating enough, I'm sleeping enough. Sure, there's stress at work, and I'm like, I haven't been outside in the sun in like a week and a half. Oops. Besides getting in my car, and I'm in my car driving. So, this is different for all of us. These are just some 4 examples. Yeah, it's like, have I been in the sun, but also have I gotten too much sun? I get sensitive to the sun. Like, have I eaten enough, slept enough, gotten sun, or is it too much sun? Did I decide to eat not very much and like go on a bender? Like friends are like, let's go to a bar and like drink and happy out. And it's like, cause I can't, I also have to have, I have to moderate with regard to alcohol. Cause what's alcohol? Just fucking pure sugar. It's going to spike shit in your brain. You'll feel good for a minute. And then if you haven't eaten enough, if you struggle with anxiety, cause yeah, the OCD is one thing. The panic attack. Oh no, so let's not do that again. Anyway, I could go on and on. I have a list, and because I do art, I am making it now into a painting that I look at, and it's big, bad, and bold, and I see it every fucking day. I mean, you can always just like write it down, post. I've thought about like a tattoo. What was I gonna call? Yeah. Eat, sleep, yeah. Well, I'm very boring. Eat, sleep, drink, fuck. Have you slept, drunk, fucked? No. Anyway, sorry. TMI. Too vulgar, Anastasia. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And someday I'll tell you, thank you for sympathizing, empathizing, having compassion, Madam Black Wolf. Likewise for you, likewise for everyone here. I care for you as you care for me. I love you very much. Lots of love. Remember, I'm not in love with you, but I love you. There are different types of love. We don't have a good language here in the United States to express them. We're talking about agape, phileo, a lot of the different types of eros, love in, say, ancient Greek. But anyway, love. Like when like a spiritual mystic or guru will say love is always the answer, or that all that is love. A riff on 1 John 4:7-8 from the Christian New Testament. But excuse me, as I have a lady burp. Excuse me. But yeah, no, what I experienced inpatient and outpatient at the experimental program I had to sign a waiver for, because what they did was it's kind of akin to what people do now with ketamine assisted therapy, like psychedelic assisted therapies, whether it's ketamine or LSD or psilocybin or fill in the blank, ayahuasca. But we did not use psychedelics. We used psychiatric meds and a very experimental form of cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure and ritual prevention therapy. And it took people like me who I could not speak. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even blink my eyes. I couldn't function I couldn't care for myself. I really did become extremely disabled because of OCD. We all manifest. OCD is as unique as each of us is. So whatever your obsession is, or obsessions, or compulsions, are very unique to each person. People think of washing hands, or like counting steps, or how many times you open, close the door, turn on and off in life. That's sure. Some of those at the time compulsion in my mind was something altogether my own thing, and it got to the point where it was so severe I couldn't. Yeah, I constantly stuttered. I couldn't even get words out, and it was something else. So yeah, I had to go through that experimental program twice just to rejoin the human race, to have a chance at not being a permanently indigent person and inpatient for the rest of my life. Because that's not truly who I thought of myself. But you know what was interesting? Actually, this goes back to a little boomerang moment. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Something very interesting was the only way I could get through that period of my life, which was that period in my 30s. That's also what was going on, was living with my parents. I had to accept that I was actually severely disabled, and I was indigent. But I let it go too far. I think I shamed and guilted myself. But the thing is like I had to kind of pretend I had no other gifts and talents. I even made myself look really, really ugly. I talked about that in a video. I got really vulnerable about when I did that, because I just didn't want anyone to think that I was capable of being okay when I felt anything but. And I knew at some point I would be. I knew that underneath that everything else would kind of like, everything would be fine. I really genuinely believe that. And there you go. That's the difference of like, I have a vision board and actually, and not manifesting jack shit, the fucking like private plane or whatever, and actually manifesting. I feel so much emotion saying that. Holy shit. Maybe some of you are feeling that. I don't know. Yeah, I had to know, like deep in the bowels of me, that I'd be okay, because maybe it's because it was so life or death. But here's the thing. My brother died where I lived. My sister lived where my brother died. My sister and brother dealt with a very similar thing. I dealt with something a little bit different than they did. But can I say this? Yeah, they dealt more with alcoholism and addiction. I dealt more with this sort of like with like severe MDD and OCD and other things. And yeah, so what I think saved me and not my brother, saved my sister, not my brother, and even my father to an extent, was the fact that we actually knew and wanted to live. And that's where, like, we talked about that really real thing, Jim, about, I haven't had someone in my life for a long time, like a romantic someone else, and there's that Like, but do you really want, like, what is way deeper? It's hard. Sometimes it's something that's almost ephemeral. The moment you think about it or can sense it or feel it, it's like, it's gone. And often we don't even know what the fuck is really going on. Like, I've had to, like, you can't be, it's hard to be your own doctor. You know what I mean? Like, I was in health and wellness for a long time, and it was hard for me to be my own patient. Like, you can't, the analogy would be like, you can't be a surgeon who operates on yourself. I mean, sometimes they do, like they'll, suture themselves or something there. But ideally, you would have someone else do that for you, someone who would assist to, like, find out what's, actually underneath when there's some type of pattern, something that keeps happening and it's not what you want. I mean, the biggest thing is, like, in any 12-step program, you have to admit, first of all, that there is a problem. But for me, when I look at these things, is also how to take a step away from identifying. I have a, well, this is not a space to talk about the 12 AA or other 12 or NA or other 12-step programs, because it's because the whole thing is like, I am a fill in the blank, whatever your disorder is, and like you and like on the one hand, like, you have to accept, but then when you so fully, like I so fully identified with being so fucked up. I was fucked up, but also I knew deep down I wasn't going to be. I was going to be fine, and I was fine. This was just a coping mechanism. The disorders were a coping mechanism for insane trauma in my life and shit that went down. No matter how they're big or small, it looked from the outside to me, it was gargantuan. And I had to use these disorders to get through it somehow. I just needed to check out I needed to dissociate through the disorders. But I dug a deep hole for myself, and I was really fucked up. And the only way I could kind of, like, be in the hole and start to, like, get myself out of it was to kind of be in a really yucky space, And I've worked really, really, really hard to kind of not identify with that and to move beyond that and to learn new ways of coping, even though, again, I'm on a fucking razor's edge some days. But yeah, yeah, it's taken a long time just to get to this point. And I'll have to say one other thing along these lines, which is, I swear to God, I'm doing all the right thing. I'm doing, I'm making sure I'm eating the right. I'm trying to socialize. I'm trying to, like, force myself to really just show up in the world, show my work, be willing to make an ass out of myself, sing the wrong notes. You know what I mean? The wrong words. Not even know what I'm singing. Show up at I've been at an interview and started crying in the interview. I'll show up, but then I feel a level of suffering, like I'm dying. I can't handle it. It's just so unbelievably painful. And I had a mentor who told me, and you can take this or leave it, but this is for you too. We all have the right to ask for mercy. Some of us believe in a higher power or God or whatever, and you can ask that, or you have guardian angels or you have spirit guides or whatever. Work with the spirit of, Lucille Ball or what, Jacqueline Bouvier, Kennedy Onassis, whatever. You can ask for mercy. I think Kyle Cease in his community, when there would be someone really hurting, but they were just, like, kind of circumambulating, going around the point, but they're just in so much pain. He's like, here, stop for a moment. Let me give you a tool. Just right now, out loud, say, I need help. Not to anyone in particular, and the person would do it. And it was like a Zoom call, so we were all watching Kyle talk to this person, and the person would say that, and they'd pause, and he's like, no, say it again. And they would, and you could tell, like, they're like, oh my God. And they would say it, and they just start breaking down crying, because they were trying, they're too much in their mind, too much in their ego, too much, thank you, Andy, too much trying to fight whatever it is. And sometimes you need to surrender. And that's happened. I don't know how to get out of this. And I've done things where people are like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm amazing. And I'm not. Like, I'm literally the opposite. I feel like I'm at death's door. And then but that, like, shifts my mind. you know. But there are also moments where it's like, how am I? Oh, I'm not okay. I need help. Or literally in my room screaming, mercy. Like, there's fucking God. If all that is love, I need mercy. Mercy. Jesus Christ. Lord of mercy. And I swear to God, I swear to you that within like 24 hours, shit will shift. The shit shifts. You're here first. Hashtag shit shifts. Actually, I kind of like that. I might, I might make a t-shirt. Ask for mercy, because shit shifts. Hell yeah. I wrote that down. Merch to come. Yes, talking to people, expressing your thoughts help. Stephen, thank you. Oh, thanks for all the love. There, Madam Black Wolf says, there you go, honey. Oh, you are strong, Sydney. Oh, Jim, you're not a pathetic weakling. Remember, the words we say are like spells. Like that, as you put that out, like think of someone looking at water and saying, I love you, or fuck you to hell, water. They've done studies that when what you're saying, the words create a vibrational shift. So the more you do speak, but here's the thing, you don't want to bullshit yourself. You don't want to gaslight yourself. There's about the feeling of it. It's like, it's weird. It's like on the one hand, you don't want to lie and be like, you know, I'm amazing, you know, and then you also don't always want to be like, I'm so fucking fucked up. There is a place for saying I'm amazing when you don't feel amazing, and it actually helps shift things. But then there is a place also for admitting how you're feeling and allowing yourself to sit in that and not to gaslight your feeling. It's hard to know when and how, you know, like there's no right or wrong. That's the thing. I feel like we're all exactly where we need to be, no matter if you've not dated in 50 years, you've been unemployed for 20,000 years, like if you haven't seen the sunshine in a million years. We're all unfolding in our exact right time. Like, when I, you know, hindsight's 2020, but when I look back at my life, like those years that I spent, you know, indigent, you know, really like feeling like the dark night of the soul, you know, I mean, my God, like you know, the timing though of how that all kind of resolved itself, things that seemed impossible, how they became possible, no matter what it was. I mean, I could finally start to see, oh, that's why it took that long for that thing to happen. Oh, that's why I was in that house for this amount of time, and then over here, and that, like, that this person died at that moment or not, or their life was spared, or it's just so, it's so interesting. Because without, like, for example, without my brother dying, that was so traumatic that became the catapult to go into an experimental program and literally drop out of life and 1000% focus on my health at all costs. And when that happened, like magic, like my insurance didn't fully pay for it. They mostly paid for it. It literally was, I was working with the world's experts in OCD. If anyone, I know someone, well, you mentioned in the chat, TWC mentioned in the chat that he mentioned him struggles with that, and that's part of his diagnosis. Yeah, you have to be real. You have to sign waiver. You have to be very extremely far gone to be accepted into that program. But with that said, that is it's the Resnick Neuropsychiatric Hospital, and they have some of the world's experts because it's a research, you know, institution, UCLA, and that hospital. So they do the best, the most cutting edge research on different disorders for whatever it is, whether it's, you know, physical or psycho-emotional. And because it is Hollywood adjacent, you end up with someone like Lindsay Lohan in your, she wasn't in mine, but she was in the, I think the one that was on depression or anxiety. I can't remember which one she was in. I did have a couple kind of semi-famous people in mine. So that's always fun too. But yeah, there's some amazing people here. Actually, no, I'm not going to mention my actual, well, at the time she was the one who ran I can mention that. She ran the program, and she was the person who worked with me one-on-one. So, oh, yeah, bigotry. Oh yeah, that's always fun when bigotry gets sprinkled into the mix. Let's see here. NASCAR loving Hillies. Oh, madam, you haven't met Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy made an appearance earlier. I have the most beautiful black hat, all black, yellow eyes. She wears bandanas like, well, I don't wear them anymore. She's very hip, in other words. She has 3 paws. She's a galactic warrior. She contains multitudes. She is a badass. What can I say? She's a fatso, but yeah, she has a little nub instead of a 4th leg. Her back left leg is a little nub. She has like a little, imagine, yeah, like she has a peg leg. Well, she literally has it. It's a little peg. Oh, yeah, Sydney's talking about how it's important to have people who don't give up on you. Yeah. I really have, I think only 2.5 people, maybe 2 half people and 2 full people I can count on. Chuck, and I have a close friend named Ginny. And then I don't want to name the other 2 people, but yeah, I mean, people who absolutely would be there in a second and stop everything, and who also do not judge me. I know I have people who would be there in a second, but who don't understand as well, and it's very hard for them, but they would still stop everything. But it's hard. It's important to have someone, and if you don't have someone, yeah, may I suggest, researching different maybe programs like the one I found at UCLA, where there can be people like that. Was the first time in my life, because I didn't have almost anybody who understood what was happening to me, least of all me, honestly. And being in that program was the first time someone was like, "Oh, girl, honey, it's clear as day, clear as fucking day what you got going on with you." Blah, 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 blah. I can stand up in court and fight on your behalf, and you're a textbook case, and this is what we're going to do about it. And the good news with things like OCD, at least as I learned with what I was dealing with, psychiatric meds are part of how you get help, but it's just kind of like to tone it down when you're so far gone. It can work in conjunction with the CBT that they did, but you don't actually need it. So I actually, in time, knock on wood, yeah, I was able to wean off, the meds. That's also in part why my health is on a razor edge, because, as we were talking about the other day, we need a lot of proteins to help synthesize neurotransmitters. Our gut health has to be healthy, because that's where we synthesize actually 90% of our serotonin, and most of our immune system 70%, most of our hormones. So yeah, there's a lot that we have to do to make sure the brain is nurtured. Brain's 70% fat, but you also need glucose, to have energy to think and function. Anyway, our brain's a greedy organ. My brain's very greedy. All right. This chat has blown up. I don't even know if I'm ever going to get to the end of it. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about my sunglasses, and thank you. I put on makeups today, some makeups. I'm all mucked up. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome for being here. Sid, I'm just randomly mentioning things. Sydney saying you are fine. Thanks for letting us be here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jim is saying Andy's been a great friend for you. Oh, stop it. He could probably do better than you, but you still. We get what we get in life, and remember, accept, enjoy, and I love you guys. The macabre matriarch is happy to be here. Yes. I work a lot with the sacred, dark feminine. I am a quadruple Scorpio, Madam Black Wolf. Sextuple water sign. Quintuple fire sign. Almost no earth and air in my chart. Anyway, you have an excellent collection of sunglasses as well. I do too. I wore like 5 pairs of them the other day. I don't know who's. Oh, look, Valerie F is back. Oh, thanks for being here. How cute are you for joining us? Yay! I don't know who's still here. Oh, cute. You're a creator, Madam Black Wolf, of the first ever female creepypasta. Jane Richardson, the real Jane the Killer, but she has her own standalone series now. I'm bitchin'. You the badass. You're not as active in the creepypasta community. Well, thank you for being active in our community. Yay. Lots of Asian food, fruits and veg. Oh my God. Remember we were talking about manifesting? And I was like, I want sushi. Why won't my dad buy me? My dad used to like spending money on going out to eat. Would buy me some mean ass sushi. I've not I've not gotten sushi in so long. I just was craving the pork chop rolls. Good Lord, pork chop rolls. Remember they have, it's like raw on the inside, baked scallops with this on top, beautiful sauce. Oh my God, so divine. I'm like, I want 2 of those. Guess what happened? When I got the commission for the painting, I had to pick up stuff from Blick art supplies, get paid for that and all that, and money so I can get the art supplies. It's kind of a trade, honestly. It's for I'm exposed darlings, but the supplies are paid for. But I just felt so abundant, and I'm like I was starving. I was not going to make it home. I had to eat. It's too dangerous, as we all know now, for me not to eat, and I didn't have snacks or anything with me. So because I wasn't anticipating being out so late. I wasn't anticipating going to this one place and another place where someone's like, let's do a painting. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go do that. Anyway. So I'm walking and I was like, a sushi place? And it looked popping. People, I was like, what? And I was like, I wonder if it's like insanely expensive. And it actually wasn't. And the people were so lovely. I kind of checked out a couple other places to eat. And I was like, no, like I literally put out to the sort of universe, if you will, like, I fucking 2 of those goddamn rolls are so good. I want sushi. And bam, I was there. I was like crying. I was so happy. I had my little Asahi beer and I had 2 different rolls. One of them was called love. Remember what is love? It's a 4-letter word. I had the lady, her name was Luna, who helped me. She was like, when she said, oh, this one I like, it's named love. I'm like, ah! She's like, okay, you're getting that one. And I'm like, I'm still hungry. I was just, and I'm like pinching myself. I was going to post it on YouTube. Like, guess who actually had sushi after, I don't even know the last time I had sushi. Like 10 years ago? All right. I love you, Andy. I love you, Madame Black Wolf. I love you, Cabin in the Woods. Valerie F., thank you for being here. Sydney. I'm soaking up the sun and I live night by night. That's a beautiful, that looks like another t-shirt, another merch opportunity. Oh, we're going, I'm just realizing the time. We are at over 80 minutes. Normally we keep this to a hour, a happy hour. Oh, wow. Jim lost a friend to depression in 2005. My brother died in 2007. I swear to God, there was something in the air at that time. I am so sad and so sorry for that. And he was in your high school with you, and you knew him since the 1st grade. Yeah, you're not the same since. And the beautiful thing is, that's actually a beautiful thing, because that indicates that they had such an impact on your life. Your life is forever changed by their absence, and that is a testament to the fact that they were so fucking awesome, and their memory will never die because you're impacted by it. You know, like people are like, oh, like your brother died in 2007, you're crying about that. I'm like, yeah, thank God. It shows that he lived, he impacted me, impacted the world, and I keep his memory alive. I don't have to weep and like, you know, cry a river every second, every day. But you know, grief also comes in waves and moments that you never understand. Green tea unsweetened is full of, I know, green tea. It's really important for me. Madam Black Wolf, even though it can drain the adrenals, I do things to boost and support my adrenals that have been raked over the fucking coals and depleted to like negative 10 million. So I do that, but I also do something that depletes my adrenals, because it's actually one of the only things I have found for me that updates my brain chemistry, like being on an SSRI or SNRI or MAOI or any of the fucking I's, or Abilify or whatever, Zyprexa, whatever the hell. The only thing that's helped, and they've done studies on this, specifically on women, is caffeine from, not isolated as a pill, from espresso. Not even coffee, although I've been doing cold brew, which has felt similar. But I have found that it is so extraordinary. It is life-changing. It's almost like I could go from the darkest space to like, I am just absolutely fine. Galaxy's hobbling next to me. I'm going to have to pick her up. That's another fun fact. Though, you know, what is right for each of you? A lanai. Someone's talking about a lanai. But yeah, I love matcha. God, matcha is so bloody, so numbs. Valerie, are you in Hawaii? I think you know I lived in Oahu for a month. Peace. Uh, I have friends who live in Honolulu. But what was I saying? Yeah, I just want to get through a bit of the rest of the chat. Valerie was relocating. Yeah, and I don't know who's left. I know there were a lot of folks here earlier who were like leaving. Oh no, go Andy, go. Oh, you're the king of number 2. Oh my God, of poo poo. 100 degrees, Jesus. Woo, it's too hot, Valerie. And I'm sorry if you've already told me where you are. As you know, I do have, my memory can go. I have a bit of the old brain damage. Ooh, wow. Valerie's talking about how her friends ditched her and she was her mom's caretaker. Yeah, that can happen. I once had someone I thought was a friend. It was a newer friend. It was fun. And I once got very real about, it was when I was still coming out of like integrating my time in the OCD program at UCLA. And I was having a relapse, if you will. And it was when I was trying to wean off my meds. And it was, I don't wish that on anybody. There's nothing harder than that. I can't wait to record a long form video about that. It is fucking gnarly. But yeah, I admitted to this woman what I was experiencing, and she immediately dropped me like a hot rock and threw me out the window and broke the window. Oh, Andy. No one ever wanted to hang out with Andy, and you would sit at a table, people would get up and move, you'd be alone. I'm really sorry, Andy. Thank you for sharing that. And we are sitting at your lunch table right now, Andy. Sometimes it takes many years to find your people. If it's any consolation, I didn't want to deal with any of that high school nonsense. I would actually go into my car and be alone. And I preferred that. However, I missed out on socializing and I didn't have friends. Yes. Oh, you both graduated in 83. Oh, thank you, Madam Woof. You say you have a new gal pal. I love gal pals. BFFs forever. You have a new gal pal in me. Yay. We're gonna do a Women Who Run with the Wolves reading party. I'm just getting through the chat because I want to honor the chat because this is definitely a community as much as it's anything else. And yes, Madam, your fictionalized self is from Japan. And, if you're up to it, Seymour Amy Winehouse. Oh, Valerie. I sang a little bit of Valerie last time. We have had many requests for Madame Black Wolf to see Galaxy, who made a cameo earlier. Woo! So did my fuzzy journal. I'm going to need to get up. Wow, we're going an hour and a half today. My roommate isn't here, so that's nice. So it'll be easier to do this. Whoops, baby. Oh, I'm trying to grab her without her. Oh, sweetie pies. Sweetie pies. Hi, BBs. Hi, BBs. Hey, boobs. Oh, no. She's starting to run. Uh-oh. Now she's going up the stairs. Oh, no. BB! Yay! I got my BBs. Okay, I have to bring her now back to the desk, to the kitchen table. Carrying my 20-pound cat. Oh, my God. Oh, God, drum roll, please. Not only do I have an art commission, but I have my gorgeous, ready Madame Black Wolf. Black, very heavy, but beautiful cutie pie kitty. Oh, the bubs. Oh, babies. Show them your pretty bandana. There you. Oh, yeah. Oh, very chic. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. Wow. I'm Galaxy. Hello. I have, where is it? That's her real leg. There it is. I have a little peg leg. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, baby. A little nub. She's hungry. But she's been, sometimes I give her treats and I'm like, honey, we can't eat ourselves to death, baby. You want to sing Amy Winehouse with me? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think about okay, wow, this is a bit much. All right, no, we're not in it. Valerie, baby, come sing. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie. I'm realizing I don't know the song. How many times have I heard that song? Actually, songs that I have sung by Amy Winehouse are Rehab, sung that at karaoke, and You Know I'm No Good. You heard me sing To Know Him Is to Love Him, probably. That's just more comfortable. I could definitely sing You Know I'm No Good. It's just it's like such a I don't know if I can. Amy's very sacred to me, and I feel like I have to be in the right space to honor that facet of what's coming through that song as it comes through me. I know that sounds very woo. Yeah, she died not that much longer after my brother died too. So it's kind of well, no, there was a little gap anyway. Not everything's about my brother dying. Shit. Um. Well, I mean, we were talking. Here's the thing. Okay, right? We talked about a lot of hard, difficult subjects today. Like my brother did go to rehab. So did Amy. That didn't work. And sometimes it's not supposed to, because that your life has other. There's a different thing that's supposed to happen, a different intention with your life and how it's supposed to impact the world. But it's also okay to make fun of it and to laugh. Like the song Rehab. Oh, shit. I love that. Madam Black, when doing metal, I just sing like Rob Halford. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. They tried to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, oh no, no, no. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, they try to make me go to rehab, and I want to go, go, go. Meow. How about that? There's a little Amy. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Amy. How about this? God knows how many times I've listened to the song Valerie. I will make sure to learn the lyrics a little better so I can sing that, because it is a cool song, and it maybe I can create my own version. I don't know. You're very welcome, Valerie. Oh, that was very nice. Thank you. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I'm scared. Wow, we're going over an hour and a half. I have to tell you, earlier today when I was at Trader Joe's, there was En Vogue was playing. They were doing some OG 90s songs. Don't Let Go, and people were just like jamming to it. It was so fun. But that's their voice. It's right in my passaggio. It's like I could do that in full voice, but I'd do better in falsetto. But the what do you call it? The chorus. How does it go? Because I was thinking about love, right? We did it like, what is love? A 4-letter word, the last on our hump day, kind of taking the piss out of love in our boudoir with our boob showing. Not fully. I was clothed, but cleavage. Hashtag cleavage. Oh shit! I can't even think about it. Like, I was like singing it all the way home. 1 second, Lucy. Oh yeah. There'll be some love making, soul breaking, heart breaking love. How does it go? There'll be some love making, heart breaking, soul making. No, soul exploding love. I don't know. Okay, that's enough of this. All right. Okay, I think that's about all we can do for today. Amy Lee, we're talking about all. Thank you for the 6 like. Andy is shaking. Andy P was in the music video. Disturbed sounds of silence. Wow, we are, yeah, soul shaking. Yeah, if I let my voice get too big, it gets a little bit scary. If I'm fully warmed up, you can hear me over 500 people, as in my gospel choir back in the day, and that is not blending. That is being a soloist, and but we don't want that. No. No, we're not going to sing the habanera. Or no, isn't, yeah, habanera. No, that's a pepper from Carmen. Anyway, okay, we need to start wrapping this up. We have gone the distance. I don't think we've ever gone this long before. I'm very proud of you. We've been having fun. All right, 95 minutes. We got some fans. We got some Madam Blackwolf. You are now a fan. Y'all are amazing. Valerie F., you are amazing. Yeah. You might be telling me, nope, Galaxy's the most amazing one here, besides all of you for showing the frick up. You guys are amazing. So it's time to start wrapping it up. I've only had a couple sips red juice. Very happy to have spent my Friday night with you guys and to start focusing also on my art commission. Word to your mother. I love that Madam Blackwolf said, oh, you feel loved. I love that. Good. Yeah, because, let me just read your comment. You were like, anytime your voice gets screwed up during a cold or laryngitis, you sound like a horror film movie trailer announcer. That's awesome. In a world. No. In a world run by zombies. I sound like she's got Betty Davis eyes. She'll unleash you and expose you. Whatever the fuck those lyrics are. I am so happy that, yes, Madam was invited and Andy. Andy was the original virus. He infected you all. Wow, no, yeah. Through Andy, I met Jim. I met Sydney. I think I met Valerie. I don't know how Valerie came to us. I met Madam. Stephen has visited. We had the Puffer. We had the Labubu. We've had so many fun people come through. Obviously, Joyce and Chuck and Pam, I think, from the shadows. A lot of people lurk as a voyeur in the shadows. That's fine. Occasionally, I might wear something sexier for you guys to, be a voyeur about. But sometimes I don't like being an exhibitionist. Sometimes I like being more red and black, scorpionic kind of punk rock. Well, I'm much more of a post-punk rocker. I am not really. Punk is, unless it's like like a more mellow Ramon song, like it's too much for me. But yeah, very Scorpio. See, yes, I do yoga. Yes, I get stretchy. But yeah, I even though people are like, oh, are you a stereotype of a Scorpio? Do you wear just red and black? No, I mean, I do sometimes wear red and black, but anyway, I used to have jet black hair and the red lipstick and porcelain skin when I wouldn't go out in the sun. Anyway, I am completely rambling. But yeah, thank you for saying you love me, sweetie. I love you right back, sweetie pie, Madam Black Wolf. Yeah, one of the things we started this channel with, sorry if my hair is hitting the mic, was the fact that we don't have a culture in the United States that often allows for physical intimacy and touch and words of love to be exchanged between friends. And even sometimes it's like, oh, that's scary with like a total acquaintance or stranger, but it's not as strange in other cultures, especially friends, holding hands or even like kissing. And I told you guys about my culture where people literally kiss on the lips. I mean, they're not making out, if I say, but, it's when it comes to the body, I think it's rooted in, the Quakers who helped the Puritans who literally helped found this country. There's a lot of puritanical, as it were, values that they've gotten really warped. I suddenly feel like I'm about to talk for another hour and get on a podium again, or at a podium on my, do my little preacherly thing. But I do come from preachers everywhere. But the thing on every side of my family, everyone upside down, inside out. I'm technically an ordained minister myself as well. And I was even in theology school for a sec. But no. All that to say, part of this channel was started because I have an overwhelming need to love, a depth of love to give, and I give it through a lot of ways. But I was hurting and in so much pain because I didn't start, I started this channel a while ago, but I revivified it, brought it back from the dead, like my namesake, Anastasia means resurrection. But as you know, so I brought it back from the dead because, yeah, I lost my job and Guy within 5 days of each other in late May, and I don't even know where I was for the last few months, but even the 6 months leading up to that, were living hell. So, little baby burp, little female burp. No, I'm not gonna do a big ass Beavis and Butthead style, Bart Simpson. No. Anyway, yeah. So, love is always the answer, and it's also important to identify, like, what it is. I think I'm in a place where it's really important for me to love myself as radically and wildly as I've been capable of loving others, and also I have the need to love others, and also I like to offer community, and also I'm very good at what I used to do for work, making people feel loved and included, and making people feel like they're a part of something great, whether it's a Hollywood restaurant and hotel, or the sacred spheres, a way to feel that they're in the sacred, and that the sacred isn't something off-putting, like, you only have to be in a church. This is church. Every moment is church. The now, being here now. Remember, it goes back, here we go, full circle. The groundhog effect. This is what we got. Love the fuck out of it. Get curious about it. Try not to be gripped by the horrors of it. Observe the horrors. See the pile of shit. And enjoy getting curious about maybe the shit, but also everything else that's there for you. It's a hard life, but it can be a beautiful and really rewarding and fulfilling life, even with the pain that's inevitable, even with the suffering. Again, there's a way to lessen it. There's a way to end it. And I think I am now done. I've gone over 100 minutes. This is the longest we've ever done this, and it's been an honor to be with you guys. Love is all you need. Love the ones you're with. And now, my friends, time to say goodbye. Sweet dreams. And Valerie, yeah, I did get your message, Andy. I'll listen to it later. And Valerie, I'm so glad that Chuck invited you. What a sweet, sweet gift. I love you guys. I'll be live formally next 7 p.m. Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Monday, and then Tuesday, 7 p.m. again Pacific. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow, Sunday. I don't know. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Please, if you haven't liked today's whatever we're doing here, happy hour, please like it. Don't unlike it. Or no, you can unlike, whatever the hell you do. But yeah, subscribe, hit the bell thingy so you know, yes, the so-called man bus, you know when we go live. And comment, you can. Let me know what's going on. Let me know your non-negotiables, right? That would be cool. Because we're all in this together. It's hard to find good friends in this world. Thank you for with me. Have a beautiful night. I will see you soon. Thank you for being part of our record-breaking night. Over 100 minutes. I love you. Peace. In the Middle East, yes. Peace everywhere. Peace on earth and goodwill to men. I love you. Have a beautiful night. And this is when we say goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. Night, night.